Hello there, sloppers. It's Mr. E here for Sloptide News. Now, this is some more Arbites news coming at you, and as you might imagine, the Arbites news is only going to increase in frequency because we have just 2 weeks left to the release date as of today. And that is my time to remind you that if you are not yet subscribed to Mr. E, this is your time to be, because you will need to catch up on all of the news as it drops. And of course, when the class does drop, I will use my insider knowledge to have build guides, weapon guides, and commentary about the class so you can be as OP as possible day one, because I will be starting playtesting with this thing in just a couple days here. So I will know all the secrets and reveal them to you as soon as humanly possible. So go ahead and do that, and make sure you can like the video to boost the hype for this awesome class coming to Darktide. All right. That aside, let's get into it. What do we got today? Well, we first of all have a gameplay reveal, a 30-second gameplay reveal, minus the seconds they spent on advertising. So let's check this out.
Right in the head!
Very cool, and this is followed up at the end here by the second part of the today's Sloptide news that I want to talk about, which is the Arbites Deluxe Edition. The Deluxe Edition is coming at you for an additional $8, or is it $6? Whatever it is. Here we go. So the Standard Edition is going to be $11.99, and the Upgraded Edition is going to be $18.99. So you can catch that cool cosmetic set there. As you can see, this is the cosmetic set, which I think looks pretty sick. If you are a Warhammer fan, I'm certain you know what this means. And then we've got this fully chromed out Chrome Hound here, who I think is very nifty looking, and this set of weapons, which is honestly a pretty nice looking cosmetic pairing, and all of this is only an additional $7, so I could totally justify that price. The way I think they're coming about this pricing is based on their Vermintide 2 model. If you played Vermintide 2, individual classes were $4, and the deluxe version, which included weapon skins and upgraded cosmetics for the characters, was an additional $7 or $8, right? The reasoning being, hey, that's where a lot of the work goes, is into the cosmetic stuff, and if people have the money, sure, let's get it. So the same thing applies here. That cosmetic upgrade is a fraction of the price for this one, but the standard, the base thing, is $12 instead of $4, because you have about 3 times the content, right? You have 3 different character personalities, you have 3 different talent paths generally, so it's about triple the content of your standard Vermintide 2 subclass. Alright, so yeah, with the $7 upgrade, you're going to get the Arbites class, you're going to get the class outfit, which is right here, the companion outfit, which I think is probably the coolest part of this whole deal, the portrait frame, which I don't think anyone will really use, and 4 different weapon skins. And these weapon skins honestly look pretty nice. That black and red is very, very stark, looks solid. Alright. Let's talk about what went on in this trailer as well, because I think there's a lot to glean here. Let me go ahead and mute it, and we'll play it through in slow motion. We are seeing 3 weapons touted here. I don't know at this point if there are any other weapons that are coming with the class, but we have, first of all, the 2 shielded weapons, right? We've got the shock maul. They were calling this something else in the post about it, but it's basically just the shock maul plus the shield. The shield does seem to have a push animation, just like the other shields do, and we have the electrocute effect going on these enemies once they are staggered like that. So that means this shock maul is going to have blessings that are related to electrify, just like the existing shock maul does. Let's just hope that this thing has better baseline stats than that shock maul, because that thing is pretty much useless. I'd love to see a rework to bring that thing up to snuff. Then we've got, I believe they were calling it the shot pistol. This thing is pretty dang big, and it's very cool that you can shoot over the shield with it. Remains to be seen how much this deflects enemy fire, because they're not showing any enemy fire going into the shield, but I imagine it'll be a great way to trade shots with like a Reaper or something, until you can, to which point you can stagger him and get him to stop shooting you. We've got the dogs running in here. Let's go ahead and fast forward, and yeah, we can shield bash as the Ogren can. That's your push stab, follow up on the shield. And then we have the shotgun, which, as you note here, seems to have a bit of a horizontal blast pattern, which I think is very cool. This is like a street sweeper style shotgun, and one of my favorite things about it is the sound design on this thing. Let's play it back at full speed, because I love this. Yeah, so that's... I mean, you probably can't hear me over the destruction, but the sound of that shotgun is awesome. Please post in the comments if you can tell me which video game has a shotgun that sounds just like that, because I can't think of it for the life of me. But there is another video game that I'm certain that they are cribbing that sound font from for their shotgun. It is very, very familiar to me for some reason. Anyway, I think that's just about everything for the news today, Slompers. I hope you are as excited as I am for the coming update. In just a couple of days, I'll have it in my hands, and I'll be salivating at the prospects of revealing all that to you in due time. So, until then, guys, Misery out.